This is where I do the intro, isn't it?
That's where you do the intro, Sean.
Crap. All right, guys, let's see if I can do it. Hey, guys, welcome back to Hornside Mountain Biking. If you haven't subscribed yet, now would be a great time to let me know you're out there so I can keep growing this thing. Hey, so the guys at VeloPlus Bike Shop invited me out on a gravel ride, and they even offered to set me up with a gravel bike, which is all fine and dandy, except I have no idea what a gravel bike even is. So, in this video, they're going to help me understand more about what gravel bikes are and why a mountain biker would want one. What do we have here?
So this is the Kona Libre. It's new for 2019. It's Kona's first attempt at a gravel bike that's made out of carbon. So basically in the world of gravel bikes, you got different materials, different tire sizes, different purposes for the bikes, very much like mountain biking, where you'll have like your XC race bike versus your big downhill travel bike versus your all mountain bike. So in the gravel world, you can get pretty specific and bikes do different things. So this happens to be kind of an all-day adventure type bike that can be raced.
As a mountain biker, when I look at these things, the first thing I think is, oh, that's a road bike, but maybe the tires are a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Take me from that train of thought to kind of correct my thinking so that I can see what these bikes really are, because they're definitely, as I'm looking at them now, this is definitely not a road bike with weird tires. This is pretty specific to the gravel,
Yeah.
a gravel terrain and just kind of the whole terrain kind of thing. It's not a road bike. And it's kind of doing its own thing.
You kind of hit it. I mean, honestly, one of the things you said hit it on the head. You've got the ability to run bigger tires. Mm-hmm. The other thing that kind of makes a gravel bike, once again, depending on the style of gravel bike we're talking about, is it steals a little bit from the mountain bike world in its geometry. It's very much a hybrid between mountain bikes and road bikes. So you've got taller head tubes, longer top tubes, typically slightly lower bottom brackets. And huge tire clearance. And in the case of the Libre and some of the other bikes we're going to take a look at, they actually give you really, really good standover heights. The cool thing about that, and Kona thinking ahead, being a mountain bike company first,
yeah.
This bike can run a dropper post. So you have
that's right.
you have lower standovers that allow you to run higher seat heights or more seat post exposed, which therefore gives you the ability to put a 100 or even a 125 in some cases. There's a lot of concepts from mountain biking that are thrown into gravel bikes.
Well, let's get to one of those bikes.
This is the Libre DL. So it is the same bike that we were just looking at.
Okay.
The biggest difference is the wheel size and the drivetrain. So we are now talking about 700C, which is standard road size, or 29er in the mountain bike world, with a 45C tire. So it's a smaller tire width-wise, although 45 is pushing a really, really big 700C. A lot of these gravel bikes you'll see with like 42s, some cases 38s. The other thing that kind of sets this bike apart from the regular Libre is the fact that it's a 1x drivetrain. So another carryover from the mountain bike world. Mm-hmm. And you're talking the exact same reasons of why you would want a 1x drivetrain from mountain bike to gravel. Less chain slap, so all the derailleurs are clutched. So when you're barreling down a hill, it's not going to sit there and slap all over the place. Hydraulic disc brakes, mounts for 3 water bottles all inside the frame. You got another mount on the top to run a feed bag or a bento box. Then you got another one on the bottom to run another thing if you want, and it's outfitted to run racks and fenders as well.
That's cool. All right, so what else? What other bikes do we have?
So for those gals that know Salsa, they they're a mountain bike brand that really kind of ventured into this whole idea of adventure racing, which led into gravel riding. So the Cutthroat was the original drop bar mountain bike, for lack of better terms. They designed it specifically for the Tour Divide race. So they had racers that were racing flat barred mountain bikes, or in some cases like gravel bikes. And they're like, they either wanted something with drop bars or they wanted something with bigger tire capability. So Salsa's like, well, we can just make that. So they made the Cutthroat. So the Cutthroat's very similar to the Libre. The biggest difference is it's got massive tire clearance. So this thing comes stock with 2.2s. The head tube height is a little taller than all the bikes that we've looked at. They put these giant flared out handlebars on it. So when you're in the drops going down a hill, you've got a big wide stance.
Nice.
And same kind of stuff, man.
That's a good stability.
Gives you stability going barreling downhill. So carbon frame, carbon fork, just like the Konas we looked at. 1x11 drivetrain, 42 tooth capability. Now on this guy, they'll actually put a smaller chainring up front, once again, because it is a mountain bike before anything else.
Yeah.
It's become a very popular gravel bike because of how comfortable it is and how much tire clearance it has. It's also really, really popular in the bike packing world. It's got the same mounts that the Libre does. So 3 inside the frame, 1 on top, 1 on the bottom.
You have a couple more bikes, right?
All right, so this is going to be the Orbea Terra. It is actually going to be a little bit opposite of the last 2 bikes that we've looked at. This is going to be that race bike. It's going to have a more of a road bike feel than you feel on the Libre and the Cutthroat. It's going to have a 2x setup. So again, it's that road biker who's looking to get into gravel, but still want that gear ratio like a road bike. It's going to have a 50-34 in the front and then a 32 in the back. So you're not going to have that big climbing gear like you would see on your mountain bike. Still carbon frame, carbon fork, 700C wheels. These guys will go up to about a 700 by 40 tire. So you're still getting that bigger tire. You're not getting super small that you're going to be bounced all over the place. But a 40 is not going to be like the 650B by 47.
Okay.
The clearance on these guys is a 40 as max. The reason they're doing that is because this bike, they're thinking this person's not going to run bigger than a 40 because they're wanting something fast. They want to be as fast as they possibly can. The geometry, again, would be not as slacked as the Libre and the Cutthroat. It's going to be more aggressive. This bike is actually also used as a cyclocross bike. So it's dual purpose. They're a gravel bike, and then they also have people racing these as cross bikes too. So I got to demo this bike for about a month and a half, and by far the last 3 gravel bikes, it's been one of the faster, snappier bikes that I've been on.
It's a 2x Ultegra drivetrain, so like James said, it's kind of oriented more for top end speed, and almost I think of it as like the road convert going to gravel, or the guy that's going to DK 200 to try to podium in their age group or their class. They're definitely going for speed, and it's not, comfort wasn't its priority. It doesn't mean it's not a comfortable bike, it just wasn't the priority in the build of the bike and the design. It was very much meant to be a fast bike.
Ask the people that win races, the top of the podium is pretty comfortable too. Cool. Well, what other ones?
We got one more. This is the Donnelly GC. Donnelly got their start in tires. So a lot of people might know them as Clement tires, and turned into Donnelly tires this last year. And Don Kellogg is a friend. He made 2 bikes this year. He's got the GC and the CC, which is their cyclocross bike. So this is the gravel offering. It is very similar in concept to what the Terra is from Orbea. So this is my personal rig, so it's been modified a little bit. It comes stock with a 2x drivetrain. So it, once again, is that race bike first before anything else.
The big difference between this and the Terra, though, is this bike actually maximum tire clearance is a 45. So you can actually run a very similar size tire as what was on the Libre that we were showing you on this bike. So they actually give you a lot more clearance on the Donnelly.
And like all the other ones, all these carbon bikes are silly light. This thing out of the box as a stock bike was like 19 pounds. Donnelly is, they're doing some pretty rad stuff, and they've got another color coming out actually this time, pretty soon. I'm not allowed to say what it is, but it's awesome color.
You know the color?
I know the color, but I can't share. Don would kill me. So
all right, Don.
now I'm going to show you guys an aluminum bike and a couple of steel bikes. And you're talking about your bike.
Oh, are you guys just showing off your bikes now at this point? No, this is your bike?
This is my personal bike. This is going to be the Kona Rove NRB. This is going to be go back to the 650Bs. This bike is aluminum frame, carbon fork. This terrain I take on all gravel roads, very similar to like DK. I ran all last year on 700Cs, went on one ride with the 650Bs on our demo Libre, and came back and bought a 650B bike like 2 days later. So I very much fell in love with the 650B wheels.
So that's one thing to keep in mind with all these bikes that we're looking at, is that they're all capable of single track when it's dry, and they're all capable of gravel, they're all capable of road. The actual category isn't called gravel bikes, it's called all road bikes.
All road bikes, okay.
People just refer to them as gravel, specifically here in the Midwest, because that's kind of what it grew up as, but it's now a new category called all road.
All right, that's the one.
Yeah,
it's more logical to me.
The gravel bike or the all road bike lengthens the wheelbase, slacks out the head tube. It starts to feel more like a mountain bike with drop bars. So that's very much, so there is carryover from both genres, like you're saying, from road and from mountain. So this brings us to what I would consider the gravel bike for mountain bikers. the true drop bar mountain bike in the group that we've talked about, other than maybe the Cutthroat, but this does it in steel frame versus carbon. It's the first bike that you see in the lineup with a mountain bike crank. So we're rocking a race face crank on it. Once again, 42 tooth in the rear, hydraulic disc brakes, steel frame, steel fork. You can load it down for bike packing. So I would say if there's a bike in here that is meant for mountain bikers that's drop bar, this would be the one that I would show them first, just because of the spirit behind the bike. It's very much a off-road bike packing bike first, gravel road bike second. Doesn't mean it doesn't do gravel roads, it does it just fine, but it's definitely got kind of a spirit of mountain biking behind it.
Excellent. And see, and when you say spirit, I hear personality, which is that's almost top of my list on a bike. When I'm looking, like, I want to know what's it going to be like riding this bike? What's the personality of this bike? And I imagine
long wheelbase, slacked out head tube makes it feel a lot like a mountain bike would.
It just rings nonstop.
Like,
sometimes
I can start in and just say, like, let me tell you why, as a mountain biker, you need this, and I'll show them a picture outside. And there's 8 days
just turn the camera to look out there to see everything. Yeah, everything's underwater.
You go to the gym because you want to exercise, right? You go ride a bike because you want to go. It's actually our motto for the shop is get lost on a bike. And
Absolutely.
I believe that wholeheartedly, and I think my staff believes it, and a lot of our customers believe it, because it is about the experience. It's about going out and riding. So where do these bikes fit in? Well, in the Midwest, we've got great trails here in Kansas City, but they're clay-based. So what happens when it rains? For 8 damn straight days is the trails are shut down for an unknown amount of time. So you can be that dude that goes out and rides the trails even if they're closed, and you can tear up a bunch of people's hard work. Or you could buy a bike like this that allows you to go ride a gravel road. You're not going to tear a gravel road up or a dirt road or whatever. You can't go single tracking. And you got the itch. You're like, I got to go ride my bike. These bikes allow you to get into the woods just as much as mountain bikes do for the most part. You're just not going to be doing like some of the big features, and you're not going to be doing drops and teeter-totters and, I guess I've seen guys do tabletops with these, but it's not what it's designed for.
Not on my channel.
Definitely
You're
not
not
what
going to see it on my channel.
It's definitely not what it's designed for, but it allows you to go out into the woods and do that overnighter.
Well, and also, coming from the mountain bike side of things, I have a great mountain bike at home that I could take out on that gravel road with all my pivots and my bearings and my linkages and my shock and my
a lot of extra weight
fork
that you don't need.
Or things to go bad.
A lot of things that don't like sand. These bikes are built, sand or gravel or the road grip. These bikes are built to, they're built for that environment. So they're stripped down. They're simplified. What's on the bike is what you need.
That's the Sutra LTD in a nutshell, man. It is, if I had to say, like a mountain biker's drop bar, this is it. This is the one.
Very cool.
Either that, or if you want to jump up to a carbon bike, talk about the Cutthroat or the Libre.
Yeah, for sure. And we have one more left, don't we?
One more. Yes, one more. Yep. My bad. Yes, we have one more.
One more for them. It's our second time.
It's the second time we're doing it. One more for us. I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So what do we have here?
This is the Rove ST. This is a steel version of that really bright green bike that we saw earlier. Steel frame, steel fork, 1x drivetrain, 650B wheels. The Rove ST is similar to the Sutra LTD that we just looked at in the sense that it's steel. It's got a little bit of a longer wheelbase. It is definitely meant for the all-day comfortable haul. But that's part of the reason why people dig steel frames. They're super comfortable.
Coming from the mountain bike world, from the hardtail days, I much preferred a hardtail steel bike than a hardtail aluminum bike.
Absolutely.
The aluminum might have been fast, might have been stiff and everything, but very uncomfortable.
You had to go to the dentist the next day and get your fillings checked.
Yeah, or the proctologist, one of the two.
Absolutely.
The steel felt a little bit better, and it also had a nice feel, like when you were just kind of riding around. It had this nice little, almost like a rebound effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
That gave it a nice personality. And if this is a cross training bike for you, and you want to keep your budget low, or if this is your first time getting into this, and you're like, well, I don't want to spend $3,000 to find out if I enjoy doing this activity, this type of riding. This is something where you can get into it and say, oh yeah, this works for me. Now I want to see what I can do to take it to the next level.
I know plenty of mountain bikers that are like, dude, if the trail's open, you're never gonna catch me on a drop bar. And I'm the same way. Like my drop bar is literally my bike to commute to work on, and we do a weekly ride out of the shop that I'll ride it on. But if the trails are dry, I'm on my mountain bike, so I totally understand that. And this would be this is a great segue into a different style of riding that you can do when the trails are shut down. And who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with it.
Yeah, well, James, come over here. Let me shake your hand, man. Marco, thank you so much for helping me and them find out about these things.
Absolutely.
James, the guys from Velvet Plus Bike Shop. So in the comments down below, let me know if you guys, do you ride gravel? Wait,
all road.
Do you ride all road? I'm going to learn this. We're
or mixed terrain. You can call it mixed terrain. They're totally single trackable.
There. Are you interested in a type of bike like this? Are you interested in adding this to what you do on your mountain biking? How would it make your mountain biking better? Or have you ever had one of these bikes? Are you thinking about getting one? Let me know in the comments below. And also ask me any questions that you have. If there weren't any questions that I thought to ask these guys, hit me up in the comments down below. We'll try to answer questions about all terrain, all road,
or mixed terrain, or dude, just call it gravel. I don't care.
Gravel.
It's all good.
It's all
good.
All right,
guys. It does all of it.
It does all of it.
It really does.
All right, guys.
I'll take you out and ride some single track on these things. It does it all.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.